Yeah, so people, welcome back to the morning inside of Extra and Nicardo Media House. And as you could see the thumbnail, you don't know the title. Yeah, our gaffer, Stephen McCLAREN, have zoning on the talk show about, the passing of one of his good friend in the industry, Sven-Goran Eriksson, the Swedish international coach, has passed away earlier today at age 76, died of cancer. And, you can actually watch it, and you can hear a few stuff that Steve McCLAREN have learned from the gaffer, and you could probably have, look, these are some of the things that he's going to bring to our national team. But yeah, the Swedish international coach, have done so many in football, winning league title in Benfica, that one that he did in Lazio, the Scudetto, also winning the UEFA Champions League, which was a European Cup at that time, with an amateur team in Sweden. He also almost done it again, with Benfica. But he was a man that was in charge of the golden generation for England for 5 years. Didn't really bring a lot of success, but you have bring joy to a lot of English fans, and a lot of English fans can say, look, that was one of the most entertaining part of them, supporting their national team, of what he have done. Yeah, but listen to the gaffer speak, Stevie McCLAREN. I'm out.
With him is incredibly sad.
Absolutely, even though it's coming, it's been very quick from the announcement to him passing away, and it's it's sad for everybody the way it went.
Yeah. What were your impressions of him when you first started to work with him? You worked with lots of different managers, different styles of managers over the years. What were your perceptions of him when you first started to work closely with him, Steve?
It's just his calmness, he's so relaxed. Whatever the crisis was, whatever was going on in the newspapers, he was so calm, and that's what he brought to the squad. That's what he brought to the players and the staff and to England, was that rest assured calmness. There was lots of crisis with England, but he came through them all with a little smile, quip, and a nice bottle of red wine at the end of the day.
Do you think because he was quite laid back, and someone earlier on used the term sort of laissez-faire attitude, that people sort of misconstrued that for a kind of not the right attitude? He wasn't a traditional football manager, was he, in that way?
No, I think he got criticised for staying in his seat and being calm and not panicking when there was a goal down or something was happening in the game. He got criticised a lot for that. But I've got to say that's something that I learned from. I've not been doing it myself because I'm very active on the line, but he was just so calm. And I used to go, we're 1-0 down, Sven. We need to make substitutions now. We need to bring him on. We need to bring him. And he used to go, no, Steve, sit down, sit calm, let's wait. And the next minute we'd equalise and then go on to win. So it was one of them where you just accepted his calmness, the experience and what he'd been through. He had some great stories of his time in Italy, Sweden, where he first started. And you could see from that experience, he just sat back. It was a little bit, I was very fortunate at the time. I was with Sir Alex Ferguson and Sven. And, there were poles apart, but in terms of football knowledge, in terms of changing a game, they were both the same.
Had some amazing players to deal with, some of the best we've ever produced. What was he like with the players?
Fantastic. I think it took a while to get to know. Team talks were always, and Beckham, you'll be here, and Scholes, you'll be here, and Lampard, and Gerrard, you'll be there, and Heskey, you there, and he used to say, because it was English, you called them by the names or the nicknames, Scholesy or Lamps or something, but he would never, always call them by the second name. And I think that took a while for the players to adjust. But once they knew that all players are the same, if they know the manager can help them win, they'll accept him and they'll listen to him. And that's what they did. And I think it was his gentlemanly manner and the way in which he talked and approached players that you were just naturally close. And I think the key word is trust. What he built with that England squad was trust all the way through the players and the staff.
Although the general public didn't necessarily see it, but there was a steely side to him. There has to be if you're going to be that successful in management. Was he? Did you ever see teacups thrown, Steve?
Really, no. And that was the other thing, that, the player, that you just went along and nothing seemed to faze him. Nothing seemed to bother him at all.
What about as a coach, Steve? I mean, say he'd been very successful in club management. What did you sort of learn from him and make of him as a coach in kind of key moments?
Fantastic. That was as if we had a team to go all the way.
Be a very sad day for Tord Grip today, who you work with as part of the England setup. I mean, when you consider that Sven-Goran Eriksson came in as a coach under Tord Grip and then ended up having this incredible career. But Tord was in and around the camp, and they were great friends. He was sort of a mentor to him, wasn't he?
He was like the professor. He knew everything, and you could see that Sven respected him so much, and he had such a bond with him, and a closeness and telepathy, shall we call it, that he accepted what Tord, and Tord said little, but when he said it, really effective. And the two of them worked together. And I always say it's not just about the manager, it's not just about the leader, it's about the person and the staff that you work with. And him and Tord were a perfect couple, and both of them total gentlemen. And Tord's strength was not just his football brain, but in picking the white wine and the red wine when we went in camp.
and playing the accordion as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, playing the accordion and last time we spoke.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. He used to play it. Then he played in the dressing room. We often used to imagine he might have done.
He did, but I'm sure
I'm
he did.
sure he didn't. That would have been good. So finally, Steve, in your mind's eye, when you think of Sven, is there one moment? Is there one game? Is there just what's that image in your mind's eye? That moment immediately springs to mind.
When I think, obviously, it's about the Munich result, which was a one-off, totally unbelievable. Everything went our way that evening. But I always remember in the World Cup and against Argentina, and just winning that 1-0 with the penalty, and it was one of the. It kind of signified that we were at that time capable of winning tournaments. But unfortunately, as in tournaments, you need luck, things going your way, and injuries going your way. Unfortunately, we didn't have them. But my time with him will always be just remembering his calm demeanour, his knowledge of football, and where he had worked and who he had worked with was incredible. And again, his love of white wine and relaxing. Yeah. After a hard day's work, just relax. Just relax.
Yeah.
All he could say.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he loved football, and football was important to him. But it wasn't everything. He had a perspective on it, Steve.
He had a great balance. Great balance, and that's, if I'm working with him, I never adopted it myself because I didn't have that mindset. But that one where in real crisis, in real pressure moments, don't worry, Stevie.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
See, we just lost the line there, but if you can still hear us, we really appreciate you joining us today.
Steve.
We wish Steve well with a new role in Jamaica. But there we are, Steve McCLAREN, who was Sven's assistant manager during his
I think he summed up Sven really well there.
Yeah, absolutely. That calm demeanour comes across, and the way he sort of faced. Actually, I think we've got Steve. We have got Steve back the slightly.
Sorry, Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
Lost the line there.
You were just telling us we missed that story you were telling us. So just reprise that if you don't mind.
Yeah, always in camp and at the end of the day, just before picking a team, he'd ask everybody: Ray Clemens, Sammy Lee, Tord Grip, myself. What's your team? What's your team, gentlemen, for tomorrow? I always wanted our opinion on it. We'd write it down, we'd give it him, and we expected him to come back because I was taking training, so I needed to plan that. And all he would do, take the pieces of paper, sip his red wine. Stevie, we sleep on it.
Yeah.
I'll let you know in the morning.
No, it sounds like a great philosophy, really. Yeah, again, Steve, thanks ever so much. Good luck with Jamaica. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always remember that line.
Lovely.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care, Steve. Thanks very much. There's Steve McCLAREN there, assistant manager with Sven with England.